Hi, friends. I'm coming to you from the prayer space in room 203. I hope you'll take advantage of this space during Lent. It's a quiet and peaceful place to pray. Our gospel reading from worship last Sunday was John 3, 1-17. That passage includes the familiar metaphor of being born again and the familiar words of John 3, 16 and 17. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, so that everyone who believes in him should not perish, but have eternal life. Indeed, God sent his Son into the world, not to condemn the world, but so that the world might be saved through him. That passage also contains a less familiar reference to Moses lifting up a serpent. John 3, 14 and 15 says, "And just as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, so must the Son of Man be lifted up, so that whoever believes in him may have eternal life." This is a reference to a time in the wilderness when the Israelites grumbled against God. It's recorded in Numbers 21. These are verses 5 through 9. The people spoke against God and against Moses. "Why have you brought us up out of Egypt to die in the wilderness? For there is no food and no water, and we detest this miserable food." Then the Lord sent poisonous serpents among the people, and they bit the people so that many Israelites died. The people came to Moses and said, "We have sinned by speaking against the Lord and against you. Pray to the Lord to take away the serpents from us." So Moses prayed for the people. And the Lord said to Moses, "Make a poisonous serpent and set it on a pole, and everyone who is bitten shall look at it and live." So Moses made a serpent of bronze and put it upon a pole, and whenever a serpent bit someone, that person would look at the serpent of bronze and live. This is the only reference to the bronze serpent in the New Testament. And by the way, a serpent entwined around a pole is still a symbol of healing today. In the Gospel of John, it points to the death of Jesus on the cross. Moses fashioned a serpent, put it on a pole, lifted it up, so that anyone who had been poisoned by the venom of a snake could lift up their eyes, look at it, and live. You may recall another snake that caused problems not just for Israel, but for all humanity. In the Garden of Eden, the serpent infected all humanity with sin. Jesus says that the only cure is to lift up our eyes, to look at the Son of Man on the cross and live eternally. When we look at Jesus on the cross, we see what God's love looks like. It's a love that's willing to take the weight of evil upon himself. It's a love that bears the punishment of sin that is not his own. It's a love that sacrifices his own life so that all who look upon him will live forever. And looking upon him is really only the first step of the process. Sin and evil run deep in the human heart, so for healing to take place, we have to be involved in the process. And that doesn't mean trying really hard to be good. It doesn't mean somehow repaying emotional debts. It doesn't mean beating ourselves up over past mistakes and failures. The next step in the process of our healing is to believe, to trust. When we look at Jesus and see the full display of God's love and trust that it includes us, then our healing begins. We don't have to let the poison of the snake kill us. A sign has been lifted up in the cross of Jesus, and the sign says, "Believe and live." Thanks for listening. I'll see you again next week.